The pick is in.
The third pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Benjamin Morrison, cornerback, Notre Dame. Let's bring in Locked On Bucs host James Yarko. And James, the hip injury probably is what allowed Morris to be available to the Bucs at 51. But your words, not mine. Why is he still your draft crush? And for you, a steal and quite a get for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, being someone that watches a lot of Notre Dame football, my son is a huge fan. I have watched Benjamin Morrison play for the last few years, and he's an elite corner is really what it boils down to. He's incredibly disruptive. He's really good with his hands. He's really fluid with his movements, and he has kind of abnormally long arms, which helps him be disruptive on some of these passes. But you know, this is a guy that had first round talent written all over him until that hip injury cost him the rest of his 2024 season. And honestly, you take a look, the Bucs now have two players that were, one was part of the national championship. The other was there, but not participating. But you take a look at, if Benjamin Morrison plays, if Notre Dame has a couple other these defensive pieces, maybe, we're talking about a different outcome in the national championship. But this is a player that completely locked down Marvin Harrison Jr. when Ohio State and Notre Dame faced each other in 2023. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is the top 5 pick. So just everything that Morrison does at an elite level is exactly what Todd Bowles is looking for in his defense. The versatility between zone and man coverage, the size, the length, the speed. He was just the perfect fit for Tampa.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask you about, because that is the versatility that I know Todd Bowles is just chomping at the bit to get to, because being able to play that man and zone coverage, especially because you look at what's going on in the NFC South, obviously you're going to see a bit more of a juggernaut. I feel like with the Atlanta Falcons offense, you saw the Carolina Panthers offense take a little bit of a road. I can't speak on the New Orleans Saints, but you at least saw the Carolina Panthers show some signs of life at the end of last season. So I know that that'll be important even within this division. But when you look at Morrison, as much as you mentioned that he does bring to the table the fact that he can reroute and smother receivers, just like you mentioned, like we saw him do with Marvin Harrison Jr. What else do you need to see from Morrison through training camp, through the preseason, to know that he is going to be able to contribute day one?
Need to see a little bit better ability in the starting and the stopping, so that he doesn't have to try to utilize speed to catch up if a receiver gets behind him. So if he can get the footwork down a little bit better, I think that's going to take his game to an even higher level than it already is. But you need to see him be able to grasp the defense quickly. Something that we've seen time and time again with Todd Bowles' defensive players, especially in the secondary, is it's a difficult system to learn. So It took Zion McCollum a little while to get used to it. It took Antoine even a little while. He grasped it quicker than Zion did, but it takes these guys in the secondary a little bit longer to grasp it. And I think that's another reason that Morrison was the selection here, is because he is a football genius. His IQ is off the charts when it comes to football. So he fits the mentality, he fits the leadership, he fits the physicality. And then Todd Bowles said all offseason, I want ball hawks at all 3 levels. He fits the bill right there. 9 interceptions. He had 6 in one season. And if he's not intercepting the pass, he's breaking it up. Even in a season when he only had 3 interceptions, he has 10 pass breakups. So he always has an effect on the game, and you can trust him against any receiver that you have to go up against.
Yeah, that would be quite an uptick, because I think the interceptions collectively for the Bucs was like around 7. So yeah, I think
good. It wasn't good at all.
Exactly. So definitely an uptick that I'm sure Todd Bowles is looking forward to being able to see at the end of the 2025 season versus what he saw in 2024. Appreciate the time, James. And for continuing coverage of the Bucs, subscribe to Locked On Bucs wherever you get your podcasts. And for more on Benjamin Morrison, let's hear from Locked On Irish Tyler Wojciak, host of Locked On Irish, who spent a lot of time covering Benjamin up close.
Benjamin Morrison is a technician with elite movement and ball skills, and he is one of the best cover corners in this class. I'm Tyler Wojciak, the host of Locked On Irish, and I'm here to tell you that whoever drafts Benjamin Morrison is getting a 3-year starter who put up serious numbers. 9 interceptions, 18 pass breakups, and 84 tackles in his career, and he made a name for himself as a freshman All-American and only sharpened his skills from there. He played mostly outside in Al Golden's 4-2-5 scheme, but was trusted to move inside and shadow top receivers when needed, like when he put the clamps on Marvin Harrison Jr. back in 2023. Injuries limited his junior season, but when healthy, Morrison is a versatile corner with the instincts and technique to start early in his NFL career. For more Notre Dame football content, subscribe to Locked On Irish on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts.